Welcome into Fantasy Focus Football. I'm Kerry Chow alongside the Amerigo Vespucci fantasy analyst, Eric Carabell.
Thank you.
Yep, kind of repeating exploration jokes, but whatever. It's week 13, rapid reaction. We're going to start off with CJ Spiller, who is just beasting against the Atlanta Falcons, but he's been inconsistent all year long. Is he a guy we trust moving forward?
You know what? He doesn't have two healthy ankles, and that's part of the problem here. We saw his skills were on display against the Falcons. And remember, that's a terrible team against the run. So in coming weeks, be careful of the matchups. But this was the number 10 overall player in drafts before the season. So you know that he's good. He's still sharing with Fred Jackson. I mean, Spiller had 20 fantasy points. Fred had 19. Of his last 21 rushes, though, before Atlanta, 29 yards. Now, the next couple weeks, Tampa Bay and Jacksonville are teams that he should be able to run on pretty well. He will be in my top 20. He will not be in my top 10. He's not a guy you can really trust, but if you're in the playoffs, and if you own CJ Spiller, you might not be anymore because he had a terrible season. I think you can use him as a running back 2 or a flex option, yes.
Same lines of trustworthiness. Ben Tate of the Texans, 3 touchdowns, 100-plus yards. But, of course, we know he's also been inconsistent, unhealthy at times. Is he a guy you trust moving forward?
I view him a little bit like I do Spiller, except he's going to get all the touches. That's the main difference here, is that Spiller is splitting the carries with Fred Jackson and the receptions. Ben Tate's not splitting with anybody, really. Dennis Johnson was not a factor on Sunday. Tate, his best game of the season before 28 was 10. And then his last game, 7 rushes, 1 yard. Now, his next 2 games are against teams, again, that he can exploit. At Jacksonville, at Indy, neither stopped the run very well. I'm expecting Ben Tate to have some good games here. Not top 10 games, but in the 11 to 20 range, absolutely. If you're in the playoffs, and again, with Ben Tate, you could be, because he's done okay since taking over Arian Foster. He's a guy who can help you.
One guy who certainly had a top 10 game was Alshon Jeffrey of the Bears, breaking his own franchise record for most yards. But is he a must-start this point on?
I think he was anyway. I mean, he's been in my top 20 pretty much every week this season, and when they went from Jay Cutler to Josh McCown, that didn't change, which tells you a lot about Cutler, to be honest with you. But this guy, you can make a case that he's going to be a top 10 wide receiver next year, even playing with Brandon Marshall. And again, the schedule's so nice. I can't make any case to never play Jeffrey. Dallas and Cleveland the next 2 weeks, and when he plays Cleveland, he's not going to get the Joe Hayden treatment because Brandon Marshall will. So there could be another 200-yard game against Cleveland. He and Josh Gordon, 200 yards together. Honestly, this guy is so good. He's been in my top 15 every week pretty much. I don't see any reason to move him out now.
I like that, combining powers of Josh Gordon.
Could it work 500 yards between the two of them?
I think it could. All right, Roddy White of the Falcons. He's been hurt most of the season, but he finally had his coming out party. 10 catches, 143 yards. Is he pretty safe to start moving forward?
I don't think he's safe to start. I think he's still a matchup play. I don't think he's 100% healthy. His previous high game for fantasy was 7 points. And this is a guy who's the number 7 wide receiver. 14 fantasy points is nice. He looked healthier to me in this game. And again, there were a lot of points to be scored there. Next couple of weeks, Green Bay, Washington. The best thing to say about Roddy White is that Matt Ryan was throwing the ball well. They had a running game for the first time all year. And Roddy White was on the field for all the snaps. So he wasn't like coming out of the game all the time. So is he a top 20 wide receiver for me? I think he's going to be borderline for the Green Bay game, maybe in the 18 to 22 range. He's no Alshon Jeffrey, and Alshon Jeffrey can't break into the top 15, which puts some perspective here on Roddy White. I'm going to say maybe around 20 to 22.
You brought up Matt Ryan. With Roddy White seeming a little healthier, is he a little safer moving forward?
Matchup play. He'll still have too many turnovers.
Gotcha. All right, sticking with quarterback Andrew Luck. He's been a little frustrating of late. What do you think about him? Is he a must-start moving forward?
He's not a must-start. He's a matchup play, and I thought he was going to be fine because he was coming home. The road games, he was not playing all that well. The way I'm going to use Luck is it's against Cincinnati in Week 14, no. But against Houston in Week 15, yes. Against Kansas City in Week 16, no. Jacksonville in Week 17, yes. I was surprised that Luck did not play that well. You know, T.Y. Hilton has 11 fantasy points in 3 weeks. The bottom line is here, losing Reggie Wayne and losing the running game that Trent Richardson never really gave them has really hurt Luck a lot. Still, the number 6 player in all of fantasy entering this week, he's not number 6 anymore. But yes, now he's become a matchup play. You do not have to make him your starter every week.
Combined forces power.
We just combined forces.
That was amazing.
Isn't that nice?
It was nice. All right, for more Carabell, you know you want it. Be sure to check out his column, 4 Downs, and also catch his free cast on Tuesday. That's with Eric and Tristan H. Cockcroft at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time.